Hey you guys, what's up? What's up? It's your girl Missy Speaks. How y'all like that new trailer? I got skills, right? I did that all by myself. Child. I was like, let me spiffy this up a little bit. Let me like clean the house up a little bit for y'all. Put something else nice, something out there real nice for y'all to check out. I hope y'all like it. I thought it was cute, for me to be a beginner and all. But anywho, how y'all doing today? Just, it's a beautiful day out here in these neighborhoods. It's not raining like it was, so all is good. All is good. I hope y'all doing good too. Many blessings to y'all. Always praying for my peeps out there, my Missy TV watchers. As you could see from the photo on the front of the video there, it's all things Porsha for the next 15, maybe 20 minutes, child, because Simon is lighting it up in these streets. He is lighting Porsha's little behind up, okay? Every time I think we're going to have a little break from these two, here he come with another court filing. My goodness, child. Well, I tell you one thing. I have been saying this since the beginning. He is a force to be reckoned with, and I feel like Porsha got more than what she bargained for, and she may have pulled the plug just a little bit too hastily, okay? Just a little too hastily. So, we're going to get into it and talk about just some of the recent developments that have occurred literally over the last few hours, 24, maybe 48 hours. Simon is something else, child. Remember, I was telling you guys that Real Housewives has kind of gone on a hiatus. They originally were supposed to start filming in May. That was the word on the curb. Then now they're saying they're pushing it back to the very end of the summer. Oh my God, supposedly, allegedly. And it's because of all this craziness that, has been going on with just Simon constantly filing just court document after court document involving True Entertainment, involving Bravo. True Entertainment is, they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars just, on fighting this whole court thing with Simon because of what's happening between he and Porsha and not wanting his personal life on display. And that's the whole point of Porsha being on the show. It's regarding her life with Simon. And I'm sure Simon probably didn't mind too much when she originally signed the contract because they were married and supposedly happily married. And, he probably thought she was only going to be, talking about all the wonderful things that were happening in their marriage. But then as soon as she pulled the rug from under his feet, just 2 weeks after Valentine's Day, when she was just on, live saying, oh, I'm his piece and I love him and all this craziness, 2 weeks later she files for divorce. So, of course, now her being on Housewives is going to be a major issue because she's airing out all the dirty laundry for the world to see while getting paid to do it and leaving him out in the cold. So, of course, you can see why, her doing all those things allegedly would cause him to put on the boxing gloves, and start fighting back. And typically I'm on, I'm a girl's girl. I'm usually on the girl side with this one, but ooh, Porsha, girl, that was some nasty work how you did that, girl. That was some nasty work. Okay? 2 weeks after Valentine's Day, you probably gave it to him real good and everything. Girl, gave him some chocolate covered strawberries, went to Dubai, rolled around on the fancy car in the water. Y'all saw that video she put on Instagram when they were riding around in the yellow fancy car inside of the on the beach in the water. I mean, it was beautiful. It was like a fairy tale. And then 2 weeks later, oh, it's over. And word on the curb is she was the one that leaked that he was in the U.S. illegally. She was the one that leaked all that, allegedly. It hasn't been confirmed, but that's what they're saying. They're saying it was Porsha who leaked all that. So, with the hopes that he would get deported. And then he didn't get deported. He's still coming in and out of the country like he owns the place and suing the U.S. government at the same time for, you know, just suing the U.S. government regarding the deportation and claiming that, hey, you guys knew I was in the country for 30 years. Basically blaming them for not figuring it out sooner. Only Simon, child. Only Simon. Okay? But the fact that he got enough balls to do that and still, been in this country for 30 years and still coming in and out of the country like he owned the place. Porsha, I don't think you understood who you were up against. You were up against the Tony Montana of if he is a scammer, then he's the scammer of all scammers, okay? Because he's still in the U.S. That house still belongs to him. You're holding on to that house by a thread. You can't film in it. So Bravo's looking at you sideways because I think they've already paid you a small. I think you have a $5 million deal, and I think she got like $1 million of that already. So they're looking. We haven't gotten any kind of return on our investment. In fact, all we've been doing is spending money on court documents and court fees and attorneys fighting this guy. So they're looking at her sideways for real. Okay, for real, for real. So yeah. Let me just there's a lot to catch up on here. I just wanted to kind of give you guys that prelude so you have an understanding of just, a recap of I couldn't even imagine. It's like with Simon, it just feels like when it's good, it's good. You know what I mean? It's like everything she presented to us regarding what was happening in that marriage was just like champagne kisses and caviar, honey. It was beautiful. But once you piss that man off, Lord have mercy. Run for the hills. Run for the hills. Well, Simon Child, I wouldn't complain. You come over here and marry me, baby. I ain't gonna complain. You could be in and out of the country as much as you want. Illegally, I don't care. Just joking. Allegedly. Porsha definitely got more than what she bargained for. And I think she underestimated him. And she has officially become a part of the Fuck Around and Find Out Club. Okay? Let me read you what Media Takeout is basically saying about this. They put an article out yesterday. It says Real Housewives of Atlanta stops filming. Ooh, child. So wait a minute. They've been filming. They must have been doing some pre-filming or taping because they haven't released them. They have not stated themselves. Real Housewives of Atlanta or Bravo hasn't stated themselves that they have officially started filming. So they're probably getting this from an inside source. They've probably been doing some pre-footage. But it says that they've stopped filming as Porsha's ex Simon legally blocks them. So they probably have been doing some filming on his property, and then when all this started happening, they had to stop. Because remember, Porsha filed on February 23rd, February 22nd, something like that. And so in order for them, they probably started filming probably a few weeks before she filed, and they probably didn't even know, or maybe they did know. But no, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, let me just read this to you because it's good. It is good, honey. I should have had my beverage. All I got is this little funky water. All right, well, I'm just drinking. Because I want to get my, I want to be able to speak clearly. I want y'all to hear this, child. The new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta is now in utter shambles, as it's all because of Porsha's estranged husband, Simon Guobadia. Media Takeout spoke with multiple people close to production who tell us that the current season of Bravo's top rated show has been shut down indefinitely. No! Not indefinitely! I thought we were talking hiatus here. You guys are saying indefinitely? Oh no! Bring bring Nene and Phaedra and Kim Zodiac back. And word on the curb is I heard they even asked Jeannie Mai. They asked Jeannie Mai to join the cast, allegedly, and she turned it down. Shoot, Jeannie Mai, you should have said yes. So you could drag that little milk dud head Jeezy some more in public. But that was the rumor. But she turned it down. So I don't know. How unfortunate. That would have been really interesting to watch. So it says that Bravo's top rated show has been shut down indefinitely, and here's the tea on that. According to our sources, Bravo has been filming for the past 2 months, with the majority of the filming taking place inside of Porsha's Atlanta mansion. I knew it, knew it. They've been filming inside this girl's house, and mostly all of the scenes have been filmed inside that house. And this house is absolutely, well, I might as well say Simon's house, not really Porsha's house, because her name ain't on nothing. According to court documents, her name is not on the deed. According to court documents, Simon has been paying for everything. She hasn't paid for one thing when it comes to that house. And she doesn't own it. So, yeah, that's alleged in the court documents. So, y'all can go read it for yourself. It's public information, child. So, yeah, it says, with the majority of the filming taking place inside of Porsha Williams' Atlanta mansion, basically, they had to put the kibosh on everything. So it says 2 weeks ago, Simon sued Bravo and the production company True Entertainment. According to Simon's lawsuit, he claims that he is the sole owner of Porsha's mansion and that he refuses to give Bravo the rights to film on his property. I mean, guys, a deed is public information. If you really want to know who owns it, all you got to do is go pull the paperwork, honey. It's a click away. But you see, they know whose house it is. You want to know why? Because they're not filming. That's why. They pulled the plug. Believe you me, honey. They got enough lawyers over there at Bravo to know that if they continue filming on that property, Simon's going to own True Production Company, True Entertainment. Oh, honey, this is making me toasty. Ooh. That's some good tea right here. Okay. Simon and Porsha are locked into a bitter divorce, with each claiming to be the legal owner of the lavish Buckhead mansion. And honey, it's very simple. Pull the paperwork. And until the divorce is finalized, it is not clear who owns the mansion. You guys are delusional. Look at the deed, honey. The deed. The deed will produce the seed. And until the divorce is finalized, it's not clear who owns the mansion and whether Bravo will eventually have the legal rights to the footage filmed on the property. What a shame. All that footage gone to waste. Oof, I would love to see it. The top brass at Bravo is deciding to play it safe. I bet you they are. I bet you they are playing safe. They will have to throw out all the footage shots so far, and reshoot it unless Porsha and Simon can come to an agreement. So that right there indicates to me that Porsha is trying to get in talks one-on-one with Simon at this point. Because it's saying unless Porsha and Simon can come to an agreement. And then it says, of course, Simon is not looking to make things easy for his ex-wife. The insider explains it's a whole mess. If Porsha can't get Simon to agree, Bravo Bravo will have to reshoot everything, which will cost millions. Girl, you have to pay that $5 million back. You gonna be working for free. You gonna be on a stipend. Oh, Porsha, you have made a mess. It says they paused production in hopes that Porsha and Simon can work things out. So you see here, right there, it's telling me that production and Bravo and True Entertainment probably have been telling Porsha, you need to go talk to him. You really need to go talk to him, because at this point, we can't afford to keep shelling out money and uh, not being able to see a return on our investment. So, yeah, I get the feeling that she's been knocking on Simon's door, or at least trying to give him a ring on the phone to see how they can kind of quell this dispute. I hope Simon doesn't. Uh, Maybe they'll resolve it in some weird way. Maybe they'll have to pay Simon to film on his property. But I don't even think Simon wants their money. I think Simon just wants to stick it to Porsha for making this extremely difficult for him, and just kind of dropping all this on him, at the last minute. Because if you remember, Porsha filed for divorce 2 weeks after Valentine's Day and just up and left his kids in the house alone with a nanny who couldn't even go home herself for 4 days. It was just like all dropped on him by surprise. So that that was the nasty work I was referring to. That right there, when the kids were involved inadvertently by her just being, that was pretty cruel. Okay, that was awful. She gave him no heads up and left the kids with the nanny, and that ain't even. That's not her job to be staying there night after night on her days off. She was supposed to be home with her own family, and she couldn't even leave because Porsha just up and left. So, I know, I know that had to be pretty shocking. So, I don't know, girl. Whew, it ain't looking good for Porsha. But I got a few other notes. Let me see here. Yeah, so that was the end of that article, and just the fact that they are going to have to scrap all the prior footage that they've already filmed. And that's what Porsha she she sold Bravo this from my understanding, what she was selling to Bravo was, oh, I've got this beautiful marriage, I got this beautiful house, we'll be able to film here. It'll just be, she's selling this lavish lifestyle, which is why she's trying to hold on to this house so tight. But come to find out, everything is in upheaval. He's not allowing them to film there. She doesn't own anything. She's the real scammer, if you ask me, allegedly. She finagled Bravo out of $5 million, and they still haven't seen a penny or return on their investment. In fact, they're in the red because now they have their attorneys battling it out with Simon in the courts, as he's constantly, submitting court documents telling them what they can't do, and also requesting from them. Let me tell you, this is this other thing he's requesting in court docs. He's got a new attorney now. It's a woman that is defending him, and basically he submitted court documents, an injunction to evict Porsha, basically stating that she entered into the marriage with him under false pretenses. The original idea was that she was going to be a stay-at-home mom. That's what was outlined allegedly in their prenup. And that he would take care of all of her financial expenses. She was even being paid an allowance as a result of her not working. She left Dish Nation. She left Bravo as a result of their agreement in this prenup. So when she went and signed this agreement with Bravo, when she went and signed this new agreement with Bravo to start working on Real Housewives of Atlanta again. She did all this before she even filed for divorce, before they were even legally separated. So that in itself would have been a violation of their prenup if their prenup is actually uh, outlined this way, where it's stating that uh, you can't work. You under the guidelines of this prenup, you cannot work while we're married. Otherwise, you're in violation of the prenup. Now, even though he may have, even though she was in violation of this prenup, um, it seemed like he was okay with her re-signing with Bravo, as long as it was positive. It was a positive light on his image. But once she filed for divorce and tried to use his property to put their life on display and their divorce on display, it was an all-out war. He even offered her a settlement, to buy her or put her in a different home for 2 years while they worked through their divorce, and I think pay her a lump sum. And she refused. She rejected that settlement offer, which was a very similar offer that he had given to Phelan, even after she got pregnant by the pool boy and had a baby. He still put her up someplace else, gave her money, set her up for 2 years, and gave her a settlement. And she was smart enough to take it. A mess, child, a mess. So basically, the attorney is filing court documents asking for the prenup to be thrown out because she is in violation, Porsha's allegedly in violation of it as a result of her starting to work before filing for divorce. That's one reason that he is asking for the prenup to be thrown out. Let's see. We did go over that. Filing a flurry of documents, $5 million. Yeah, and she's really desperate to try to get this all resolved, because at this point, I think Bravo's kind of looking at her like, what are we even doing this for anymore? This is pointless. And I really do hope that wouldn't it be weird if Simon took her back, and wouldn't it be crazy if Porsha went back? I wouldn't even be able to trust going back. I wouldn't be able to trust sleeping beside him with both of my eyes closed. I'd be terrified. Because Simon is King Petty. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would just let you do him any kind of way and then come back into his world without him getting you back. He just don't seem like that kind of guy. So I don't see them getting back together. The only outcome I'm seeing is Bravo paying Simon a huge amount of money to let them film and keep the footage that they do have, which would not make any sense because now they're in the hole unless, they'd make it all back, because this season would be amazing if we could see all the pre-footage that they've already shot that right now is sitting on the cutting room floor. That would be good. It's so weird. Yeah, just 2 weeks before the filing, Porsha was chanting all this, "I'm his piece. I'm so in love. I'm Mrs. Porsha Williams Gubadia." I would have been shocked if I were Simon too, to receive, divorce papers 2 weeks after she made that video talking about she was his piece. I would have been shocked to hell. You've got to be some kind of diabolical to be walking around. You had to have been planning it, and I think that's what Simon is trying to determine. That's what it was in those court documents that he's filed. Just recent court documents he's filed. He's also asking. He's trying to prove that Porsha pre-planned all of this. Which is also going to be considered another violation of their prenup because he's saying that she would have entered into the marriage under false pretenses. So he wants to know, what did she sell Bravo? Did she sell Bravo the idea of this wonderful marriage she has? Or did she sell Bravo the idea of, oh, I have an impending divorce. He doesn't know about it, but I'm about to drop this big bomb. It's going to be great for Real Housewives of Atlanta. He wants to know, what did she sell them? Which story did she sell them that the viewers were supposed to see? Because then that would be something that would validate his claims in court, or further validate, possibly, allegedly. So all this is alleged. He wants to know, what essentially she told producers in order to try and validate his suspicions about her real reasons for marrying him, allegedly. So, Portia's really just messing up everybody's financial situation. Real Housewives of Atlanta, these platforms like the Real Housewives is a way to push your business. A lot of these girls are now self-employed. Kenya has this new hairline boutique, and she can't even promote, really effectively promote her company because of all this nonsense that's happening with Porsha, and constantly just everything getting shut down in production. Um, so yeah, Portia may have had a moment at the boutique where, for example, she may have gone there and gotten her hair done in one of the scenes and talked about her and Simon. And then, now all that's got to be taken out because Simon is, throwing in court docs, to say, I don't want you guys talking about me. So if she did film a scene like that, allegedly, then they wouldn't even be able to use that. And therefore, that's another business that can't be advertised because it was used in one of the scenes with Porsha, possibly. So who knows? Just something like that. It's like, she's really messing up people's, financial situation. I think Drew and Sheree, they're still waiting to hear if they're going to get a contract. I think Drew thought she was going to get a contract, and then after everything started happening, they had to pull back on the contract. I'm not sure if that hasn't been confirmed, but I know that those two are still waiting on a contract. The only two who have been confirmed was Kenya. Those were the only two that were confirmed. And I think what was that girl that was Rick Ross's ex-girlfriend? Yeah, Ming Lee. She was supposed to come back, I think, on the show this season as well. So all these people that's looking to come back and return, um, uh, it's all up in the air, and mainly because the headliner, which was supposed to be Porsha and this big beautiful lifestyle, uh, is not going to be represented on the show as long as Simon keeps, tossing out these flurry of just court documents prohibiting everything from moving forward. And honestly, after the way Porsha handled things, I really don't blame him. I'm like, you're not going to kick me out of my own house. He's got 50% custody of his own kids that have to visit him in hotels, while Porsha has two homes that she has access to. So I don't even understand why the judge initially even told her she could stay in that mansion. Oh, I know why. Because in their prenup, it states that if they were married for 15 months, then she would have the right to stay on the property for a year. I think a year to 24 months, something like that. That's in their prenup, that if they're married for at least 15 months and then they decide to get divorced, she has rights to be in that home. And he would have to leave while they work out the divorce proceedings. Now, that is very curious because right on the supposed 15th month, Porsha filed for divorce, which also makes it look like she planned it. This girl has got no sense about her. If you really wanted to leave Porsha, allegedly, if that was the reason you wanted to leave, you didn't want to be with him, and you planned all this allegedly, why would you wait to the 15th month on the dot based on what's inside of the prenup. You should have waited 3, 4 years, child. You should have stuck it out. Okay? The fact that you did it on the 15th month, as outlined in the prenup, allegedly, it makes you look real crazy, real scammy. It looks bad, Porsha. It looks real bad. Okay? Anybody with eyes can see that it looks bad. Okay? And according to Simon, from a post that he put out a few weeks ago, he's saying that you really didn't file on the 15th month. You filed on the 14th month and some days. So you are a few days shy of 15. So allegedly, that's what I heard. That allegedly she didn't file exactly on the 15th month, according to Simon, allegedly. So I think he's actually going to even use that in court to say that she's in violation of the prenup. So there are just so many violations here that he's stating that would cause this prenup to be thrown out and cause her to be evicted from the home, which originally would be, let me go up here, her working while they were married. That's one violation of the prenup. And then also being married under false pretenses. It's basically saying that she married him for his money and that she allegedly may have sold Bravo this concept that her storyline would be about divorcing him and him not even knowing anything about this impending divorce. And so this is why he has submitted court docs asking Bravo and True Entertainment and the producers there, what did she sell him as far as her storyline was concerned, so that he can, I guess, discuss that information with his attorney and present it in court. And then there's also the question of, did she really file for divorce in the 15th month? Or was it 14 months and some days? Because that can cause her to get evicted from this home, which is the whole purpose of that injunction that was filed along with all these other flurry of court docs. So much, and everybody in the process, it's just, this thing has got so many tentacles, and everybody is getting screwed. Everybody is getting screwed because of Porsha's shenanigans. That girl is just, she really doesn't think straight, and I just don't know why she thought this was going to have a different kind of an outcome. I really think she underestimated Simon. She made a really, really big mistake, thinking that she was going to be able to do this and just kick him out of his own $7 million house, keep her house in Buckhead, and just have him living in hotels lavishly, but still living in hotels while his sons go and visit him there. I don't know why she thought that was going to work. But I will continue to keep you posted, guys. Thank you so much for visiting me today. It's your girl, Missy Speaks. I love you guys. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. Oh, please like, subscribe, and share, guys. Please subscribe. I really appreciate you becoming a member of the Missy TV family. And I will be talking with you soon. Bye-bye. Oh.